Here it is. It's time. Not Vader time, but it's time to talk about the dogs. And we're not talking about Georgia. So many people want to talk about the Georgia Bulldogs, and they think there's some kind of confusion. There's no confusion. DOGS is an acronym. It stands for Defense Always Wins Games. I am Brandon Phoenix. I also hate Pitt of the Raspy Voice Kids. I am co-hosted here with my brother Jeremy, J.N. Fiend Phoenix.
J.N. Fiend.
And we are talking about what it really means to be a dog. That is, defense always wins games.
And we talked about In Gibby We Trust.
Yes, you heard the episode. You saw the episode in Gibby We Trust. Now,
Hashtag Alpha Dog.
Alpha Dog. He's the leader of the pack.
He is.
We are now talking about what it means, or not what it means, but instead less specifically about the defense, or less about Tony Gibson, and more in particular about the individual players who will be leading the pack.
Because like we've referenced this in a few other shows. There's plenty of people who like point to our defense and, we only returned this many starters, or we only returned that many starters. So we're going to talk about what we really returned, who we're really looking forward to, and why we still trust Gibby and these boys who are coming to play ball, who are coming to play defense.
Well, we trust Gibby because last year he had to replace 7 starters, including losing Drayvon Askew Henry in summer camp, a big blow, and was able to...
By the way, I noticed you always have to say the full name.
He wants us to say his full name.
Jake Spavital does it too?
What do you mean?
Every time I say Jake Spavital, I say Jake Spavital.
I just want y'all to know who I'm talking about, okay? Now, Jeremy Phoenix. Listen, Jeremy Phoenix.
Jeremy Nicholas.
Jeremy Nicholas Phoenix. JN Fiend. What we're talking about here...
I didn't choose my name. Okay?
I'm trying to think. What were we just talking about? I forgot already.
The defense. We're talking about the defense. We're talking about the defense.
Yeah,
he said Drayvon
Askew Henry. So back to what we were talking about before I was rudely interrupted. Drayvon, who we lost right before the season, is back, right? But last year we lost him, including the 7 stars that we lost to graduation and to NFL possibilities. And Tony Gibson put together the best defensive unit in the Big 12, in our estimation, and by a lot of metrics as far as statistics are concerned.
True.
So this year, we replace 8 players. Is that right, RC? By the way, we have RC is joining us again today.
RC back in the building.
RC's back in the building via Skype.
Coming back in off my recruiting trip. 8 starters, potentially 9, depending on what you want to go with. But again, the big thing is injuries. Have always decimated us. But 8 starters again that we're replacing on this defense.
He's so smooth.
And so, he's so smooth. Lying about the recruiting trip, but I like that he said it. So are we worried about Tony Gibson? And the answer is no. In Gibby We Trust, we said no. And the reason why is you look at our defensive line, we lost all 3 starters. However, we played 955 snaps, I believe it was last year. Nearly 1,000 snaps in the Big 12 last year. Compare that to in 2010 when we only played 803 snaps. That means players who didn't start got to play. So a guy like Adam Schuler, who was projected to start, Adam Schuler played in 12 games last year.
He did.
Not a starter, lots of time.
And he was the Athlon's second team all Big 12. That's important.
Yes, it's very important. So you get a guy like Adam Schuler
really important.
Who didn't start, but he played. He played a lot, significant amounts of time.
Number 88. Just think of Michael Irvin. When you see Michael Irvin on the field for the Mountaineers.
Only on the field. Michael Irvin only on the field.
Exclusively on the field.
Find him on Instagram, Adam Go Live, because the boy go live, right?
Get right.
So we're looking at him. We're looking at a guy like Reese Donahue, sophomore, redshirt sophomore, hometown boy, representing that
Cabell Midland.
Cabell Midland product. This guy, again, did not start, but he played. And he's a lot bigger now.
He played in 12 games.
So there's lots of experience, even though it's
And the truth is, like, when we were up there for Fan Day, he's a big dude.
It's a big dude.
Like, I was surprised. Like,
all them dudes is big. Adam Go Live, or Adam.
I actually told
Adam Schuler's big too.
I actually told I also hate Pitt B fan, Brandon Phoenix. I told him this coming back from Fan Day. I remember going to a few different events, seeing NFL players. Actually, I remember seeing Michael Strahan after the
Hall of Fame game.
He walked on the field, and I was thinking, man, he's a little skinny. Like I didn't expect him to be. We have some big dudes.
We got big dudes.
Big dudes. Trenches. Like I'm getting autographs, and these guys are big men.
He's talking about a Fan Day. We were just at Fan Day.
Real talk.
And of course, it's going to be delayed, so you guys are going to see this as when we're recording it. but at Fan Day, I was impressed by the size of the team in general.
I really was.
Jaleel Fields, another guy projected to start. Big dude, played a lot of experience. Somebody we're looking forward to seeing. Somebody who can pick up and hold up his end of the bargain. Now, my opinion is we're not worried about the defensive line the way the nation is. I am not, anyway, I should say. JN Fiend, do you feel the same way as I do?
I have some reserves. I know John Lewis is there. He played 13 games last year. My problem is with our defensive line, and I know we have some great freshmen coming along.
Who? Who?
Lamont.
McDougal.
The dude is stout. I saw that dude is stout. He's not very tall. My dude is stout. He's perfect at nose tackle.
Yep.
And of course, Stills.
Darius Stills, the legacy recruit. He was on our show, as you might know, the RVK Gold and Blue interviews. Darius Stills is making a name for himself already. It looks like he's going to crack the 2 deep, according to RC.
And the kid's a big kid. My only question that I have and I don't have an answer. Don't look for me to answer. Do we have a guy, if we don't completely all-out blitz, do we have a guy who can get to the quarterback without the help of a blitz?
That's a good question because Gibby is a guy who's very aggressive and he likes to blitz. But he would prefer, obviously, if you can get to the quarterback with just the 3. But how many people in the nation can get to the quarterback with just 3 down linemen?
Look, I'm sure they have some defensive ends. Look, like I said, I'm looking back. You guys remember Johnny Dingle, right?
Yeah. Keelan Dykes with him.
Keelan Dykes. Julian Miller. Bruce Irvin.
Bruce.
We remember these elite defensive ends who can get to the quarterback. When I look at this team, I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying I haven't seen enough to know if they can get to the quarterback without that extra blitz. You know what? I never worried about that before this. When I started looking over things, Reese Donahue, he looked like a big kid, and I'm sure he's going to play great ball. He played 12 games. He has 12 tackles.
But see, you're talking about the difference in an entire year, from freshman to sophomore year. And I feel like that's where jumps are made. That's probably where the biggest jumps are made.
John Lewis played in 13 games. You know how many tackles he had? 4. And I'm not trying to come hard, but I'm just saying.
It sounds like you are. Got to be honest.
No, what I'm saying
sounds
is
like the hate brigade. Got to be honest.
To be honest, I believe in Tony Gibson. So if he says, and I believe in Bruce Tall. So if he says we're ready, we're ready.
Well, they haven't said they're ready yet, but they said they.
But I'm saying when I look at this roster outside looking in, even the spring game, and I'm not saying spring game is spring game.
Yeah.
I'm concerned that we can't put pressure on we may not be able to put the pressure on the quarterback without the blitz.
I don't. First of all,
I hope I'm wrong.
I'm not worried about that.
And I don't know.
I'm not worried about that because Gibby likes it. I'm not worried about that because Gibby likes to blitz anyway. It's part of what he does.
It's true. Very true.
So it's not really an issue when that's what he does by nature. It's not like he'd be doing something that's out of his character. But I feel like these guys haven't been given the opportunity, even though they played.
That may be true. Absolutely, may be true.
I think we're going to see it. One of the things I liked about the guys, like seeing them at Fan Day.
Real quick, I'm not saying it's because of lack of talent. I'm just saying the statistics show 12 tackles, 4 tackles.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying, though, is, we know ball players, right? And ball players can't fake it. They are what they are. And you hear swagger. Swagger is an over.
No, you could get a dude who comes out here who loves to shoot the 3-pointer. He could go 0-19, and you could look right at him and say that dude can shoot the 3-pointer.
Yes, even if he doesn't make it, you can tell he's having a bad game.
Yeah,
I feel like when I was talking, like looking at defensive line, even the freshmen, like the Bang Bros, Lamont McDougal, Darius Stills, those dudes are ready to go. And they're just freshmen, true freshmen.
I'm hungry.
They're hungry, man. They're ready to eat.
Yeah.
So what we got to do, feed them, right? And the best part is, Virginia Tech just named a redshirt freshman as their starting quarterback. So guess what they finna do? Eat. And I feel like Adam Schuler, he's ready to do that.
Have we seen a defensive player do this? We see it all kind of.
Yeah, defensive players do that all the time.
Do they?
Yeah, they do that.
Okay, excuse me.
And they're about to eat. They're about to feast, and I really do believe in them. And it's not just because of Gibby, because as much as I love Gibby, and everybody knows we love Gibby, you see me rocking the dog shirt, right? You know I love Gibby.
He rocking.
I'm rocking it, but it's beyond that. It's beyond that. The size, the speed, the talent, and the belief that Bruce Tall has in this team. Now, he's not giving them any breaks. That's one of the things I love about watching his interviews. If you watch WVU Sports, he's not giving them any breaks. Every time Every time they ask him, he's pushing for more, and that's what I want. I want more because September 3rd, we're going to need more.
I feel like Bruce Hall's all about business.
About business.
Granted, I saw him at the very end. He was probably tired.
Definitely tired.
We will get back to.
He like Dana and the rest of them.
We'll get back to Dana being tired.
Dana looked like it was the worst time of his life.
He hates Fan Day.
And he was gracious. He was gracious.
He hates Fan Day.
He was not
the worst day of his life is Fan Day every year.
You couldn't find a person more sick of giving autographs than Dana Holgerson. But speaking of that, we got ours.
The
whole helmet signed, but Dana got the white part. So,
and we don't care if he gets sick of signing autographs or if Fan Day is his worst day of the year.
Blame him.
As long as he wins games.
That's right.
That's all we care about.
Wear whatever color you want. I don't care if you're the man in black. Win games.
And by the way, we're not talking about Coach Spaff. We're on the defense right now.
Yes. Sorry.
It was really
Back
cool.
Back to Bruce Tall.
No.
You said you could tell.
No. I'm gonna say about Spaff.
Okay.
At Fan Day, I'm mixing this in right now. It was he was really cool.
No, Spav was the coolest, man.
Wasn't he?
They all were cool. I mean, Doug Belk was cool. Throw it up, Mr. Throw It Up, you Terry
Capone.
Carrier.
Yeah.
Throw it up. They were. It was a tremendous.
Matter of fact, that was my favorite table. Like seeing these kids. I mean, I love seeing these kids. These kids
cool.
who maybe go to NFL. For me, I've never been overwhelmed with that. The only time I ever got a little giddy. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I wasn't giddy. I was just, is going to the coach's table. And I'm not talking about Holgerson. Holgerson's great. When I saw all the assistant coaches, when I saw Tony Gibson, when I saw Spav, when I saw Tall, when I saw Wickline, when I saw Capone, when I saw Belk, when I saw all these dudes, that was my favorite table of the entire event.
Because we love football, we love talking football, and those guys know how to talk football.
They do.
And obviously, they know way more than we know. We're not pretending like we're on the same level. We are fans. We say this is a show by fans for fans. We are not pretending that we know or do anything like what they do. But it was a tremendous honor and really exhilarating getting to have even just a few moments.
I do wish, I have one regret. I wish I could have asked Spav, do you think Johnny Manziel would have made a good coach?
Johnny
Football talking about he wants to be a coach now.
So we've talked about the defensive line. What about the linebackers?
Okay, excuse me. All right, so now we'll go to linebackers. I'm sorry, I got off key.
Well,
back to linebackers.
Well, RC, what do you have on the linebackers? What are you thinking about what we have? You there, RC?
I said, again, whenever you look at the linebackers, you've got players who they've got depth, they've played before, they have experience. Not so much starts that they have, but they definitely have in-game experience. And that's the beautiful thing with Gibby and his defensive scheme. There's so many different variations you can do with the 3-3-5 scheme of rolling in players for blitzing packages and everything. Real quickly, going back to what Jeremy was talking about stat-wise on the defensive line, probably one of the best defensive linemen we've ever had at WVU was Chris Neal, and he never put up stats.
Yes.
But the way he controlled the line and taking up blockers, it freed up linebackers and the edge rushers to get to the quarterback. So I'm excited about the linebackers. Preston, Al-Rashid Benton. Again, there's depth there to go with this team. And again, it all goes back to they may not have the starts, but they definitely got the in-game experience last year.
You're right. And we didn't even talk about Jalen Harvey.
Yeah.
Jalen Harvey ready to come in and wreck shop. And
man, that was beautiful. I feel like Chris talked some more.
He did. No, Chris definitely should talk some more. I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't, talking about all the experience we have and the talent we have, we didn't even talk about Jalen Harvey.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk, we have dogs. We really have dogs, man. And that's what I'm looking forward to. And I'm glad you brought up the point about Chris Neal. That's an excellent point. Those are the kinds of things, that don't show up, like they say, in the stat column.
That's perfect because everything I was talking about our defensive line and how many starts they had, how many tackles they had. What you said was perfect. Our defensive alignment, the 3-3-5, it lends itself to Chris Neal to them boys, Scooter Burr, soaking up them blocks, taking up 2 blocks and letting them linebackers make plays. So it's a great play. Great call, RC.
All right, so now we're on to the linebacker. So we have Xavier Preston, senior linebacker, played in 32 career games his entire time. That means he's got a ton of experience.
Yeah.
He's ready to play. Al-Rashid Benton. Al-Rashid Benton is a senior linebacker. He started all 13 games last year. He was second on the team with tackles. He had 80 tackles last year.
Jersey City. He ain't from Jersey City. He's from Jersey, though.
And one guy that we were looking forward to is David Long, of course. Dana Holgerson said, if you read the Signal Caller, if you read Jed Drenning's magazine publication, Dana Holgerson said in that magazine that David Long was possibly the best defensive player he's ever coached. And now he's hurt, which matches what we always go through. From Carl Joseph to Drayvon to now David Long. However, fortunately for us, David Long...
I actually didn't know that, what you said.
David Long is not supposed to be out for the entire year. They're saying 4 games, but it sounded like it's possible that he may be back sooner than that. But he's definitely going to miss the Virginia Tech game, it sounds like.
Okay.
But we'll have to wait and see. But we are loaded. Excuse me. Again, if we talk about what we really have, Brendan Ferns last year tore up his knee, missed the entire season. That means he's a red shirt. But he comes in, he was a 4-star linebacker. Everybody wanted him. Ohio State, Penn State. We beat them both out. Not just because of his brother, not just because of petroleum engineering, but because of what we have as a football team, because of what we have in Tony Gibson. And Brendan Ferns will be back. He's going to contribute. He's going to make, if he isn't able to crack the starting lineup, he's definitely going to be in the 2 deep. And he's a guy who's got the talent, real talent. Talent on a level that nationwide it's recognized. And so I'm excited about seeing him.
No, you talking about Long getting hurt.
Yeah.
Who came in for him last year?
For David Long?
Tonkery.
Oh, yeah, Dylan Tonkery. Tested out as elite.
No, that's what I love. Like, Dylan Tonkery, if you listen to the coach talking to him, they're talking about 4 linebackers they really have faith in, and he's one of them. He has to learn. He has to grow. But his athleticism.
But physically, yes.
Athleticism, he's there.
He's a ball player.
He's there.
Quandarius Quandarius Qualls, a JUCO transfer, physically gifted, just trying to pick up the system. And if he gets it all figured out, the Big 12 is in trouble. The Big 12 is in real trouble. No, and that means good things for people in Morgantown.
I will say,
and everybody who supports people in Morgantown.
I will say, I'm not trying to be negative Nancy. We're talking real talk. The same thing I would do if I was on the phone with him, no cameras on, I would do the exact same thing.
Exactly.
I would say
that's what this show is. This show is us at the dinner table in the car. By the way, do you guys know why we're called the Raspy Voice Kids?
I think you told him, but tell him again.
I'll tell you again. We're called the Raspy Voice Kids because growing up, we had these scratchy, raspy voices, and our friends called us the Raspy Voice Kids. We didn't even know until we were teenagers that they secretly called us that. The funny thing about that is...
because I knew better.
Every Mountaineer should be a Raspy Voice Kid. And what do we mean? When the game is over, you should have no voice. And if you do have a voice, it should be hoarse, scratchy, and raspy. From all
you ever listen to Dana when he's done?
From all the screaming and yelling you're doing.
You ever listen to Bobby Huggins when he's done with the game?
That's right. All the screaming, yelling that
they're
doing,
Raspy Voice Kids.
That's right.
Raspy Voice men, excuse me.
That's right. All the screaming and yelling, as I was trying to say, on behalf of our Mountaineers. So really, every Mountaineer, all 1.8 million of us plus, should be Raspy Voice Kids. That's why we're called the Raspy Voice Kids. But anyway, back to the real situation.
All right, well, you got to tell me what it is. I forget. Jonathan Curry, do you remember?
We're talking about linebackers. We're talking about Quandarius Qualls. We're talking about Xavier Preston. We're talking about basically the talent that we have.
Yeah.
And not just the talent that we have, the experience that we have. Because even though we lost starters, we didn't lose guys who actually played.
Oh, Dylan Tonkery, too.
Well, testing out his elite.
And how athletic he is. And you know, we keep hearing... That's the thing. I was talking about keeping it real.
Yeah.
I was talking about keeping it real. No. I'm sorry. I had to catch up. I couldn't remember.
We're caught up now, though.
Caught up. Anyway,
Usher reference.
So,
Dylan Tonkery.
Gibby was talking, and he said he had faith in 4 linebackers. 2 of them need to grow a little bit. For me, real talk, that's a concern. We play in a defensive scheme where we need a bunch of linebackers.
We do.
So with Long going out,
we need a lot in the second.
and we have 4 left. He said people need to step up.
I think they will, though. And you know I'm not a Kool-Aid drinker, but I think they will.
No. I hope that he's driving them to. But for me, that's a little scary. Like, we only have 4 for the whole game. All them plays, all them snaps.
More than 4 for the whole game. He's talking about 4 he has trust in. He was saying essentially people that have to step up. And sometimes they say stuff just to motivate players.
But you know, the thing that's interesting, if it's a defensive struggle, which I hope it's not because Mountain Greer and you know, Justin Crawford and all them boys. But I'm saying if it's a defensive struggle, you bring in somebody who's not ready to play and they run a wheel route, and that's 7 points on the board. And that could be a change. I mean, that could be the difference in the entire.
Well, let's talk about another area of concern because linebacker is not an area of concern until there was an injury to David Long. Okay?
Sure, yeah.
Now, then we have a little bit of concern. But cornerback has been an area of concern, just like defensive line. RC, what do you have for us on the cornerbacks?
Cornerback position is kind of like a little bit like it was last year. We didn't really know what we had going into the season. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Big 12 Player of the Year, depending on what site you see, Rasul Douglas just showed up and just was an absolute monster. This year, it's a little bit of the same. We have a bunch of players who have experience, but will they step up and be the man, such as Elijah Battle, Mike Daniels. We also have the transfer coming in from Syracuse and Corey Winfield. So, again, there's talent there, but we don't really know what we have until you get them out on the field. Again, they have experience. It's not like we're throwing redshirt freshmen out there. So we'll see what we have at the corner position. When it comes, though, to playing safety, though, oh, my goodness. West Virginia's got, I believe, the best pair of safeties in the nation in Kaiser White and Drayvon Askew-Henry. And then you throw in the true freshman Derek Pitts from South Charleston. Derek Pitts from South Charleston, and then Marvin Gross stacked at the safety position for this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Toyas Avery, too. Get him back out there on the field.
No, man.
The truth is, the one thing I will say with Corey Winfield, he's got a double amount of concern. One, he had the DUI. We don't know how that's going to shake out. We don't know. He got, that was the charge. We don't know what the facts are. So we're waiting on the information on that. And also he had surgery on a finger, which, at corner is kind of important, right?
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. You can play with a cast, but you can't pick balls off quite the same way if your fingers,
That was my question, and I asked that to the coaching staff, and that was my whole thing. I was like, a lot of times over the past few years, we've seen our guys go cover zero, where we blitz a lot of people, we play man-to-man coverage. Are we ready? And they said we still need more work, which, to be honest, that could be anything.
I told Capote, I said, the safeties are talking a lot, because I think it was Kaiser said I don't know if it was Kaiser or Drayvon who said that that tandem would be better than Carl Joseph and KJ Dillon. That is a tall order, but I'll be honest with you, I can see it, man. I can see.
They have so much athleticism.
They have so much athleticism. They have so much, and I hate the word swagger. It is way overused. It's been played out for a long time.
I've used it way too much too.
But the truth is, like Jay-Z said, they walk like some ball players. They talk like some ball players. I feel like this is not manufactured.
Swagger
It's not
like
fabricated. This is
Mick
real.
Jagger.
Swagger like Jagger. That's right. Swagger on 100,000. Yeah. So anyway, I have full faith in Kaiser and Drayvon. Toyas Avery, I'm excited about too. Elijah Battle. Winfield.
Don't forget Mike Daniels.
Yes.
You know where you're from? Dade County. Born and raised in the county of Days.
305. We ready for him.
Slips like get loose. More punch in your bowl of juice.
Now we know.
Nah.
And we also, you got to remember, Corey Winfield played in the ACC. So this is not some guy coming from a junior college where he's got to get used to the speed or the size or the talent. He's used to all of that. He's ready for that. Now, of course, the game is different in the Big 12, but he's got that kind of experience. He's ready to play ball.
I like that. Mike Daniels. If you pick one off and return it for a touchdown,
305.
take it to the house. Take it to the house. Look, we're going to play that the whole time.
They better play
Since I get loose, more punch in your bowl of juice.
They better play it nonstop.
Over. Hey, I don't know who does the music for the Mountaineers in stadium.
You better be playing.
If Mike Daniels returns one for the touchdown, Trick Daddy is from Dade County. He made a song called "Take It to the House."
T-double-D.
If Mike Daniels returns one for the touchdown, you better play "Take It to the House."
Take it to the
I'm
house.
telling you.
Yeah, we're ready for it. All right, so those are the dogs. This is what we got. If you have anything for us, you let us know. RC, anything we forgot? Anything we left out?
No, just be ready to be watching probably the top defense in the Big 12 this year when the season's over. Again, lots of players coming on, man.
One thing we didn't talk about
Top defense in the world.
We didn't talk about Hakeem Bailey. They're excited about Hakeem Bailey too. Keenan Cummings. I think it was Keenan Cummings. It was either him or Chris Anderson.
Hakeem Bailey, he's a sophomore, 6 foot.
They just wrote an article about him on I think it's 24/7.
Yeah,
it's a good read. If you haven't had a chance to read it, go ahead and read it. Hakeem Bailey, man, that's another dude who's ready to make an impact. That's the thing.
By the way, do you know
people want to talk about the people we lost because it's easy to talk about the guys we lost. It's so easy if you're writing an article or a column and you don't actually follow the Mountaineers to write us off and say, hey, they lost X amount of starters. We have dogs, man. We got ball players. We got people who can really
every year
play.
we bring them in. We recruit that way.
We recruit.
Do you know where Hakeem Bailey's from?
I know where he's from. Tell him.
ATL.
He's a Georgia boy.
Welcome to Atlanta where the players play.
And we ride on them things
like every day. Big Beats History, see gangsters roaming, and parties don't start till
6 in the morning.
Stop. That's what I meant.
All right. So that's that. We can talk about special teams a little bit too before we end it.
Okay.
What do you got for us, RC?
Well, when it comes to special teams for this year, it's definitely the in-state with the kickers. You got Billy Kinney from Morgantown, who's still back doing the punting duties this year for us. Top
304.
Yep, top 5 in the Big 12 in punting, 48th nationally. Again, I kind of point back to the Oklahoma game last year. In tough, crazy conditions, he still had an over 40-yard average with a long of 47. So he's a solid kicker. Again, on special teams, regardless, though, I mean, it's not like we don't get punts blocked, and then vice versa. This year, though, Dana said he's going to make a concerted effort to let Gary Jennings actually return punts a little bit more.
Good.
And then finally, when it comes to kicker, though, Mike Molina, he was kind of just thrust into the kicking position last year after due to some unfortunate circumstances with Josh Lambert. But yet, how did he end the year? A 50-yard field goal versus Baylor. I think he got his legs. He's from Hurricane, West Virginia, so another 304 kid. So, again, when it comes to the special teams and kicking game, I think we're going to be set. And this year I'm looking forward to Gary Jennings getting a lot of good return yards as, again, Dana put the emphasis on returns this year.
Excellent. Thank you.
And by the way, true West Virginians when they say hurricane.
That's right. It's not complicated because it is not hurricane. It is definitely hurricane.
Yep.
So, Jeremy, didn't you say you were telling me something about practice recently, special teams that was of interest?
Oh, no. That's a good point. I actually completely forgot about it. When I was going through the line, I was talking to the special teams coach and linebackers coach.
Capote.
Was it Capote? Yeah.
Oh, no, he's a safeties coach. Sorry. No, Matt.
Shoot.
This is embarrassing. What's the special teams coach name, Chris?
Mark Scott.
Mark Scott. Sorry.
Sorry, Mark. Mark, we
love you, Mark. We love you,
Mark. M-A-R Kevin. All right, I'm gonna stop. Trying to make that song, but it wasn't. No, I asked him about, when I was going through the line, I was like, are we going to reverse this thing on Virginia Tech? We always hear this stuff about Beamer ball, which makes us want to throw up, and we can't stand and screw Beamer ball. I was like, are we going to reverse Beamer ball? And he's like, for sure. Last week, we blocked a punt. So
maybe we can flip the field that way.
But he was very positive in the way he said it. I feel like he's very.
Because the first thing I asked when Jeremy told me that, first thing I said was that good or bad that we blocked the punt?
Yeah.
Because it's good on good, right? So if we're blocking punts, then is our offense, I guess, special teams.
Yeah.
Are the guys punting bad and blocking for the punts bad, or are the guys blocking the punt and returning the punt, are they good? It's hard to tell in those situations, but it sounded like it was a positive when Mark Scott said it.
And I'm not going to bring this up because there ain't no point of bringing it up.
Sounds like he is going to bring it up.
But they're due for us to block some of their punts.
It's time.
It's Veda.
You can't let go of the wrestling, man. That was a good episode. RC, anything you want to add to that?
Psycho Sid. Anyway.
Just one thing to lolook at this year with defense that Gibby said, when it comes to getting turnovers, last year we didn't really create points off turnovers ourselves. We had I don't even know if we actually scored on defense last year.
We did. Rasul
yeah.
Against BYU.
Yeah.
Return for
the
touchdown.
emphasis this year, they've been putting in more drills to, see if we can't score, running, how to practice whenever we get interceptions and block on interception returns, and then also picking up fumbles and scoring. So we'll see if that translates to points from the defense this year to help us out.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That's what we have you on for. RC, everybody give a round of applause for
RC, man.
RC in the building. All right, we thank you very much, sir. And we'll see you next time. Deuces.
Raspy Voice.
We want to give a shout out to all the Raspy Voice Kid followers, all the people who are showing us love, giving us respect. We appreciate you, as they say. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. DJ Khaled. So, all right, we're going to start with Joey McClanahan at McClanahan Tribe. That's on Twitter. These are all on Twitter, actually. Lush at Texan Ear. Thank you. Sean Grady at _Fusion Beats. That's with a Z. Appreciate your love. Mo Sims at Mo Sims1. Tweeting, retweeting, liking. Showing mad love to the Raspy Voice Kids. And finally, Aaron Maloney at Maloney _Aaron. 2 A's. We cannot say enough how important it is. Not just that you guys follow us, not just that you guys interact with us, but that you like, subscribe, and review. And we're grateful for everybody who does that, because that's how more Mountaineers are going to find us. We're going to get to talk about what we're talking about, and we're going to get to interact with them and get to grow as a podcast, as a show. So thank you. We love y'all. Real talk. Never fake, never frontin'. And we out. That's it. Thanks for listening and watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Check the links in the description for all our other media outlets.
And no matter what you do, no matter what you heard, no matter what we said, don't forget, we also hate Pitt.